Did you know Devilman was in My Hero Academia? He's not in the anime, but he can be found in the manga. In the very first chapter, during the narration of the first encounter with Quirk, several fictional superheroes are shown, being Kamen Rider, Wolverine, Spider-Man, Superman, Gecko Kamen, aka Moonlight Mask, Ultraman, and at the very bottom, it's Devilman!
In the dark, who is that? Who is that? Who is that? There he is, the devil! Devilman!
Hello people, I'm the Anime Hero, and I review anime so you can enjoy it. Recently, Devilman Crybaby has been spreading all across the internet, so I decided to take the time for a little show and tell presentation. The Devilman character has existed since 1972, or maybe even older. Throughout the past 4 decades, Devilman and Akira Fudo have made numerous cameos in other media. And this video serves to highlight some of his sightings. If you want to learn more about Devilman, then watch my Devilman Anthology playlist. So let's keep things moving with possibly one of the oddest references coming from Sonic the Hedgehog, with a character known as Tailzilla. This version of Miles briefly appeared in the Archie Sonic Super Special issue number 12, and in the second story titled Zone Wars Giant Robotno Chapter 2. To provide context to what's going on, first I need to talk about the mysterious Zone Cop, who maintains balance of all parallel zones and universes, meaning a lot of different Sonics, Eggmans, Sallys, and you get the gist. After a Gatchaman reference, Sonic is requested to save another zone and quickly bumps into Robotzilla! Sonic defeats her and meets Dr. J. Quintobor, who offers Sonic a super robot to battle the mutated citizens of Knothole, hence the appearance of Tailzilla. His design is clearly based on Devilman with the signature head shape. There's a lot more to the storyline, so let's just say it gets really uncomfortable. On the subject of comics is the DC Comics character, the Red Lantern, Bleeze, who I know nothing about. I came across this character by pure chance as I was watching Justice League Action.
They've been working with the thief!
In the episode titled Rage of the Red Lanterns, Bleeze just shows up and I'm thinking, wait a minute, that's clearly modeled after Devilman. Anyone with that head is automatically a Devilman reference. Or maybe it's a Devilman Lady reference. Devilman Lady is a sequel to the 1972 Devilman manga starring Jun Fudo, who is a little difficult to show since most artwork depict her naked. At the very least, I know of 2 characters that predate her design. Number 7. Satanica. A long time ago, the manga Shin Devilman was actually released in English as digital colored comic book issues. The publisher was the owner of Verotic, a man named Glenn Danzig, and this guy also created a character inspired by Devilman, being Satanica. There's not that many pictures that I can show you for similar reasons, but I'm sure you can see the Devilman resemblance. This comic was supposed to have an anime adaptation, but it never happened. For more info, watch my top 10 lost anime. What's very interesting about Satanica is she predates Devilman Lady, but there is another woman who predates even Satanica. Number 6. Morrigan and Jetta from Darkstalkers. Well, by looking at Morrigan's Batwing head, the design has some similarities, but further proof can be found in early character art. Morrigan is by far the most popular thing about Darkstalkers, and her design has gotten the attention of many people, but her iconic look wasn't made overnight. Morrigan went through numerous changes, but one of her earliest rough drafts heavily bears the appearance of a womanly Devilman. Can you imagine a world where this design was used? The cosplays would be, "Whoa girl, you're huge." Jetta, on the other hand, has more in common with Akira Fudo's manga design of wearing a button-up school uniform. Again, the head is a dead giveaway, but at the very least, Jetta's head shape looks more original than others. For more Darkstalkers videos, watch the Nostalgic Gamers character profiles, or you can watch my brief review on the Darkstalkers OVA. With this talk of Capcom, I also want to bring up Alex from Street Fighter. This might be a coincidence, but the red lines on his shoulders might be a Devilman reference. I don't know, I'm just throwing it out there. Number 5 is a reference not to Devilman himself, but other characters in the series, being Mickey from Hell Teacher Nube and Lady Ragyu from Kill la Kill. Mickey is a dead giveaway. I probably should have worded that better. This version simply mimics her design, as the creators of Nube also provided some tributes to their favorite manga. Her personality is very different as she's a bit on the snarky side of things. But the main problem I have with this Mickey is they gave her a bust, but the problem is she's an elementary student.
And you are out of here!
Kill la Kill's Lady Ragyu has a similar hairstyle to either Satan or Siren. I have no idea how to pronounce this name. Furthermore, if you look at manga arts from Devilman G, it looks a lot like a Studio Trigger production. On that note, you can now buy Devilman Grimoire in English along with Devilman vs. Hades and the original 1972 manga. But did you know that Devilman has appeared on White Zombie concerts? Number 4 is the song Supercharger Heaven. For whatever reason, White Zombie would use footage of the OVA series in his concerts, specifically for this song. I haven't been able to find the original video I used to edit my Devilman intros, but if you browse YouTube, you can still find other appearances, even from 2016. I also remember a certain tour that he used other Go Nagai OVAs in his backgrounds, ranging from Kekko Kamen, Shin Kiri Honey, and I think Shuten Doji. Or maybe he was under the name Rob Zombie when he used those anime footage, I don't know. If you can help me find those videos, I'll appreciate that. Although, I'm not sure if he had permission to use the Devilman character, as there is an illustration on the single cover. Speaking of single digits, we only have 3 left.
怒りでなんかデビルマンに変身した
Number 3 is a slight reference in the womanly battle shonen anime Air Master. Kaori Sakiyama gets angry and she develops a certain look in her eyes. That stare resembles Akira's eye markings, or devil eyeliner if you're okay with me calling it that. Devil eyeliner! Meanwhile, Maki Aikawa will be dressed up as Tiger Mask. Coincidentally, both Tiger Mask and Devilman were released in the same magazine, being the Weekly Shonen magazine. And since I don't have much else to say, I'm gonna throw in the Pokemon Salamence, as the colors and specifically the wing shape appears to be based on the 1972 Toei Devilman. According to Pokédex entries, Shelgon evolved into Salamence because, as a Bagon, he always wanted to fly. So, his cellular structure suffered a mutation, hence the evolution. I'm guessing this could be a reference to how Devilman merges with a human, or how he didn't have wings in the first volume, and didn't grow them until volume 2. The Pokédex also mentions if Salamence is enraged, this dragon will lay waste to fields and mountains via fire attacks. That reminds me of the iconic scene of the Devilman tragedy, but at this point it's mostly speculation. Maybe it's just coincidence that these two characters look alike and I'm looking way too deep into it. Wait a minute. Air Master and Hell Teacher Nube were done by Toei Animation. And here we are talking about Toei Devilman. And Tiger Mask was also from Toei. Is there some sort of Toei conspiracy? Number 2 is the character Black Emperor from the second Kinnikuman movie. Some of you may have heard of Ultimate Muscle. Well, this is the original series starring Kid Muscle's father, Muscle Man, aka Kinnikuman. The Kinnikuman series was originally a superhero parody of Ultraman, but gradually became a superhero wrestling series where the Justice Chojin would fight the forces of Satan and his Akama Chojin. Okay, I'm pretty sure Toei was reusing assets or couldn't come up with a unique design, so this character was probably made in a hurry, since around this time Toei would usually work on 3 or 4 movies at once. But Black Emperor is totally Devilman. He's not voiced by his 72 counterpart, but instead played Hidekatsu Shibata, who voiced Go Nagai villain Xenon and Baron Ashura from Mazinger Z. Certain images bring a strong likeness to the Devilman manga, in which I asked Toei, who are you fooling? But with all seriousness, why didn't a crossover happen? Kinnikuman vs Devilman, that would have been a good idea, especially with Akama Shogun and the other Devil Superman. This possibility is so good, I'm gonna have to make a separate video for it. But the very last Devilman reference is going to surprise you more than anything. Let's rewind to the beginning of this video. The Devilman character has existed since 1972, or maybe even older. Without further ado, number 1.
El murciélago. Pronto huye. Traten de huir si pueden.
Number 1 is the villain Batman, or Bat-Human, or the Bat Monster. I don't know what his real name is supposed to be, since I couldn't find a Japanese version of the show, being Moonlight Mask or Gecko Kamen. What I'm using is the Spanish dub version under the name Capitan Sentia, aka Captain Flash. Moonlight Mask was originally Japan's very first televised tokusatsu superhero, premiering in 1958. During 1972, NAC Productions created an anime adaptation, and this is where it gets interesting. NAC Productions was apparently founded in 1967 by former employees of both Toei Animation and Tezuka's Mushi Productions. However, most of their anime were labeled unsuccessful, with Chargeman Ken being the biggest example. Upon watching the very first episode, I assumed this was a Toei show because of the usage of psychedelic groovy background similar to Cutie Honey. There's even a fight in a circus tent, but since this was released in 1972, it does predate Cutie Honey. But a bigger surprise is his first episode villain, who really resembles Devilman. He doesn't have any powers, but he can somehow control bats and fly with a costume. Yet Devilman wasn't released till many months after this episode aired. Did Toei Animation rip off NAC's character design? Or did NAC somehow snuck its way in Toei production of the Devilman anime and manga for a one-time villain? I don't know. The origin of Devilman's creation between Go Nagai and Toei Animation are a mystery. Well, at least to me, because I don't read Japanese or Italian, so I can't look at Gekiman, the autobiography of the Devilman series. There is also production time to be taken into consideration. When exactly did Toei settle on the Devilman design, or when did Toei contact Go Nagai? Demon Lord Dante was cancelled in late June 1st, 1971. So there's not that big of a gap for the anime staff to have a design ready by the time NAC released their Moonlight Mask anime. I don't know when the Devilman series went into production, and if NAC somehow got a hold of this design, they would have had to been in cahoots with someone at Toei in order to even see a glimpse of Devilman. I don't think there was any promotional art during 1971. Furthermore, this Bats villain appears in the very first episode, leaving a smaller time frame of potential stealing, but that would also imply that Toei had a design ready for usage since late 71. The Devilman anime premiered at the very end of 1972. If anything, it seems more than likely that Toei borrowed the design. NAC does have some ties with Toei given the creation of the studio, but it seems odd to rip off a character design only to use it for a single minor villain. It'd be even stranger if these two character designs were made by pure coincidence. It could happen. I mean, look at the two Dennis the Menace. If that isn't the biggest proof of the most unlikely bizarre coincidence, then what is? So this concludes the top 10 Devilman references, and maybe one day this mystery will be solved.